Yeah, hi, Mark here again. Today we're doing something a little different. You know, I'm not starting a cooking show, but as I mentioned in one of my much earlier YouTube videos, there are some things I can't find in Russia, and I need them really to make some food that I like. I love different types of Chinese food, for example, and kind of a staple when you're making Chinese food there are egg rolls, you know, different types of egg rolls, but egg rolls nevertheless. Now I can buy everything I need to make the egg roll except for the wrapper on the outside. I cannot get it here. Things that are sold supposedly for that are nothing more than just egg white, like on clear plastic that's allowed to dry, some transparent. It's not nearly the same thing. I want the nice ones that after you fry them, the outer wrappers have they're bubbly, little bubbles on them or whatever that have formed, and they're nice and crispy. So I'm going to be making some egg rolls today because that's something, as I said, I can't normally make here, but I have found ways of going about it. So we're going to start by making the wrappers, then we'll make the egg rolls, and we'll even make some sweet and sour sauce, which is very easy to make. It's delicious and it's necessary. It's sweet and sour sauce. Good Lord, that's like duck sauce with Chinese food. But anyhow, let's go right ahead now and start in on this making of the wrappers. So the ingredients are listed in front of me either right now or they were just a few minutes ago. And let's start adding the ingredients. So we have 2 cups of flour. We have 2 tablespoons. I'm using cornstarch. Here it's much easier to find potato starch. Either of them work equally as well. I have found cornstarch. I just use it because I'm used to using it. So 2 tablespoons. Half a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to mix it together. Now, my recipe for the wrappers doesn't address how much water. It says add enough water for a stiff dough, for fairly stiff dough. So I'm going to add some, mix it up. See. And we need a little more. Now we're to knead this for 5 minutes. Now I'll knead it on the board. And don't worry, I won't make you watch this for 5 minutes. Kneading dough, that's pretty boring stuff. Okay, I've kneaded it for about 5 minutes. Now I'm supposed to let it rest in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes. Okay, dough's in the refrigerator resting for 20 minutes. While that's resting, let's make the filling for the egg rolls. So let me prepare the ingredients now. Okay, now we're going to make the filling for the egg rolls. Start by, got some nice olive oil in here, heat it up. I'm going to add some chopped onions, some crushed garlic, powdered ginger. This is cooked for about a minute. Most recipes don't call for bean sprouts, but I like adding bean sprouts. Now we add grated carrot and grated cabbage. We let this cook up for a minute or so. My experience is it's going to be a lot more than a minute. I don't want this to be mushy, but I need to soften up a little bit. Okay, now we're going to add some soy sauce. Some oyster sauce. Some peanut oil. And then some pepper and sugar. We're going to stir that up and let it simmer for about 3 minutes or so. Okay, now I need to put this into a colander and let it drain for a few minutes. Okay, now we'll just drain a little bit more out. Put it back in its pan. And we'll just let it sit there and kind of cool off a bit while we go to the next phase of making our wrappers. Okay, we've let the dough for the, excuse me, no, that is the dough. We've let the dough sit now and rest for about 20 minutes. It's actually about half an hour in the refrigerator. Now I'm going to take it out. I'm going to divide it into, I know these silicone boards are supposed to be non-stick, but they're not. I'm going to cut this, I'm going to make 8 different wrappers with it. So I'm going to cut this into 8 fairly equal pieces and take each of those pieces and roll it into a ball and put it back in the bowl for now. That's my first step. Now we're going to take each one of them and roll them into a circle about 4 inches in diameter. It's about 10 centimeters. Okay, for this next part, we're going to kind of take what looks like the largest one, put it down. This is just vegetable oil. Anyhow, spread a little vegetable oil all over it, because we're going to stack these and roll them all as one unit. Now you'll see the steps. I'll be honest with you, I hate these steps I'm doing right now, but hey, what can you do? Put a little flour there too. Put the next one on and continue that process till we finish with all of them. Okay, so now we have a big pile of 8 smaller discs, and we're going to roll them as one unit. I'm going to probably roll them out to about 25 centimeters, about almost 10 inches, so 25-30 centimeters. I'm going to kind of try to roll them out a little bit square. Now I'm going to cut them off, not square, but squarish. Okay, now we're going back into a pan, just quickly. I'm going to leave it in there long enough till it starts to bubble a little bit, then I'm going to flip it. It's not that long. First side might be a minute, second side might be 30 seconds. I don't think the first side was hot enough or long enough, so I'm going to flip it one more time on that side. Okay, now back to our working board. Okay, this is the part I really sort of dislike. I have to try to peel each one of these off, and some of them are so hot. Okay, that actually didn't go all that badly. I'm going to save these for something else. I'll tell you what it is afterwards. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of rolling. We're in the final phase of these. So I'm going to take one, kind of put it at a diagonal here. Throw a little bit of this goop, the filling. Now I'm going to fold in the edges, fold this over the top, roll it partially down. Then I have some like glue stuff I make out of the starch, in this case cornstarch, and water. So I just pretend it's like an envelope and I'm putting the glue along the edges there. And I roll it up and seal it, put it away. That one was still a little open. So now I'm just going to do the same thing for the balance. Okay, That's 8 of them I just made. I'm going to actually put them in a plastic bags. I'll put 4 in each one. And I'm going to freeze them because we're not going to have, I'm going to make a big fried dinner this weekend. I just wanted to get this over with today because it takes hours to do. And by the time I'm done doing this, and then I have to start with the rest of the meal, I don't enjoy it. So this is better. I freeze them, then I'll let them thaw and I'll deep fry them. They'll be fine. You'll see them when they're done.
Mm-hmm.